Hello, people, and welcome to the latest edition, episode, whatever you want to call it, of Through a Different Lens podcast. I'm your co-host, Joe.
I'm Deji.
I'm Jacob.
How we doing, guys? How we doing?
All good, man. All good.
Obviously, you guys can't. I don't know if you can see. Jacob's currently resting his legs
nursing his leg, man.
/ ankle. Got a little injury and all
Yeah.
them things.
He's been in the trenches this week.
Yeah.
For a good cause.
Yeah, definitely.
For a good cause. I say.
Usually we'll start off like, how's the week gone and that, but I mean, we could just get right into it.
Trust me, let's get into it, man.
Well, the magic of the FA Cup.
The magic.
That's what we can call it. So, yeah, this weekend was a good one, to be fair. A real good one. Third round of the FA Cup. Obviously, we were the lowest seeded side in the competition, so known as the underdogs going into the game. Stevenage at home. And we felt like we could win the game 100%. We had the belief and we had the confidence going into the game that we were in a good position to go and win the game, basically.
Yeah.
So we've gone out and we've said what everyone's called a cup set, an FA Cup set, and what we done? Giant Slayers, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for us in the change room, we felt like. We went out and it felt like a normal day.
Yeah, okay.
Do you get what I mean? It didn't feel any different for us in terms of on the pitch. We felt like, okay, cool, we're going into this game 11v11. We've played against most of Stevenage's players before, to be fair, because they've all been in like the National League and that sort of stuff. So it wasn't playing against anyone that you know is of a higher skill level or anything like that to you. And obviously we all want to be where they are. So at the same time, we're obviously trying to showcase ourselves at the same time. So we put our best foot forward and we got the result. And I feel like in the first stage of the game, we dominated. Obviously, we rode our luck at times in the second half.
Yeah, definitely.
With some of the chances they had. But all in all, I feel like we deserved a win. On to the next round. So on to Ipswich in the fourth round.
Yes.
Which is the first time someone of this low has made it to the fourth round of the FA Cup.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
So
History makers.
Yes. Because I was obviously the round before. That's before you were there. You guys beat Barrow. So you've done League 2. You've done League 1.
Got
now you're gonna do
next.
Do the championship.
Yeah.
I was watching your gaffers like post match after, and I was like, league by league. Obviously, he wanted Wolves as an ex Wolves player, but it's like stadium wise, Portman Road. Even though I haven't been there, it's one of those stadiums that look aesthetically pleasing, and I like those old school homey close stadiums, innit?
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Loftus Road. I like Loftus Road a lot, but obviously, I was at the game and it was the game changed when you went off in it in terms of like first half. I thought you got your team out of not danger but high up the pitch a lot. In terms of like ball carrying, and sometimes that goes underrated, and it showed like in the second half. Like it's not you guys were under the cosh, but you couldn't get out.
Yeah.
You know
it felt like that. It felt like whenever we did get somewhere, the ball was coming straight back.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a proper bombardment like that, but it was just a lot of pressure, obviously, and stuff like that. Whereas like first half, the game there was like. You couldn't tell the difference between the two sides in terms of like the levels. And there's 3 leagues between, or was it 4?
3? National League, League 2, 3.
Yeah, 3 leagues between them.
Yeah.
Whereas like second half, you could see the difference. Obviously, there's more pressure in that. And like I was intrigued looking at their lineup to see if they'll start like their starters, which they did. Because like even speaking to boys that have faced them, they're attackers. They're not just workhorses, but they're real workhorses. So I was like, if your centre backs or your defenders ain't on it,
they're gonna capitalize.
Bro, Stevenage attackers, they work flipping hard. That's one thing. Like other boys have told me, like they don't cheat the game in the sense that, and like you said, probably that's more so from like the level that they previously played at and stuff like that. Because looking at their name. Their team, I don't see like big names from like previous League 1 clubs like that. Obviously the odd ones like Freeman who was at Wickham and stuff like that, but like say dropping down from champ, etc.
Yeah, they don't have many.
Like,
They have some.
because they only came up last season.
Yeah, so
Well,
they basically and remember that was the year when they were meant to be in the National League, so they signed a team for the National League,
Yeah,
and then
Yeah, last
ended up
year.
getting promoted to League
Oh.
One.
That was quick.
because
Yeah.
they finished second in League Two last season. Yeah,
yeah. So they've done well, to be fair.
and they're what, 7th, I think, right now in League One.
Yeah.
They're just
so
out the playoff.
they're
Yeah.
doing well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. So it was like a big result for Maidstone.
Yeah.
You get me? And
Giant killers.
Yeah, to an extent, I'd say. But, you know, as we said, it felt like a normal day for us. And
yeah,
it was like, okay, cool, we got to go out and get the job done. Obviously, to the whole of Maidstone and everyone like that, it's a great result. And it's a great result for us also.
yeah, definitely.
But it's a case of we knew what we went out to do. And we've got the 4th round now. And it's going to be another one of these crazy ones where we have to go and do another madness and kill the Giants again.
yeah.
But it's
This
quite...
time at their ground.
Yeah, but it is quite... Because the Maidstone's pitch is a great leveler.
yeah.
That's what's being said, because obviously you have to know the way the ball bounces and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's quite interesting the ties and the draws they've got. So it's been Barrow, who got promoted from the National League quite a few years ago
Yeah.
to League Two. It's been Stevenage, who got promoted from the League Two to League One
Last
And
season.
Ipswich, who got promoted from League One to the Championship.
Last season. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, cool. We're kind of going through stages, and we weren't overjoyed with the draw because everyone wanted a Premier League side.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's probably a better draw for us because it's a chance to showcase yourself against the level that we can maybe move to.
Yeah, some of the players and
You,
stuff like that.
you get what I
yeah.
mean? So
yeah, definitely.
it's probably the best thing for us as players. As much as we want the Premier League tie, the best thing for us in career development would probably be playing the Championship side.
Yeah.
Because that's probably the next step, the League Ones, the Championships, from where we are. You get what I mean? So that would be the best step in our career paths.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to be showcased on that level, so you can see that, okay, you can play at this level, you play against players at this level, so people would trust you.
And the thing with, like, there's clubs in those leagues from League 2 to Championship who sign from non-league.
100%.
So, like you said, as long as you're showcasing, you've got teams like Peterborough, that's their mantra, to
Yep.
sign from the lower league and effectively make profit and
Yep.
stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, like you said.
Huddersfield have done it recently.
Yeah. So, and even Wickham, the striker Kone,
Mm-hmm.
through, I think he scored yesterday in the EFL Trophy, sorry. Obviously that was his debut. And non-league, did he have 100 goals and
Yeah.
however long or whatever? Like, so, but the proof's in the pudding, you get me?
100%.
And as long as you guys work hard, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and George Elokobi, our manager, he doesn't give us any, he doesn't mess around with us. We're we're run like a Premier League football club is kind of run, because him and the assistant manager Craig Fagan, they've obviously played in the Premier League, so they run the football club how a football club should be run. So we don't get away with anything.
Yeah, that's good.
And it's the perfect environment for a player trying to develop and a player trying to just push on in their career, because you don't get away with anything. You can't cheat the game, as you said, with the Stevenage players. So every day, even when you're injured, every day you're coming in to work hard. As much as, okay, cool, I might be injured and we think it's okay, I can rest. Now you're still in the gym, you're still working. When you're on the training pitch, you're working more time. You're running 8K in training, 8 to 10K on training days. So when it comes to the match day and you're told to run 12, 13K, well, we did it 2 days ago in training, so it doesn't feel like anything anymore.
Fair.
So, the environment change, as I spoke about last week, is been a great thing for me, and I'm enjoying it. And as the boys said, I turned up in the 3rd round. They said they did all the hard work. I'm glad to have contributed. I got the penalty and then I got injured. So
Listen, you came and you got your assist.
yeah, exactly. So I helped them out in some sense, and I'll hopefully to be back for the game against Ipswich.
Yeah, because that tie is expected to be in about a week and a half.
Week of the 27th.
Yeah, so hopefully, God willing, your injury.
No, regardless, I'm playing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Man's
regardless.
gonna pull up to Portman Road in his boot.
Yeah, regardless.
Come off the coach in his boot.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's he did? He's just there to watch. They see him in the lineup and stuff.
Yeah, no.
So
whatever happens, I'm playing that one. So
Fair.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a shame you're injured for this weekend because you were playing your recent former club coming up. But hey, such is life. It happens in football.
Exactly.
Got bigger fish to fry, like the FA Cup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And we've got a good squad. We've got a good squad down there. So the boys did the job last night.
I saw that result actually.
Yeah. So, and we got games every 3-4 days now. So it's not even a case of. It's literally a case of just building up consistency and repertoire between players and that, and the boys that haven't been playing. That's what squad's for.
And there's still like another 20 games in the league or so.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Then they're still in all those Sidemen Cups. I call them Sidemen Cups. I apologize to all the lower league teams, but yeah, those cups, we're still in all of those. So there's obviously more fixtures that get added, and they're actually first team fixtures. So you can throw out players, but people are gonna need minutes in those. So yeah,
no, it's good for, like you said, for the squad and in terms of the whole game time aspects. I mean, it's a shame that Deji couldn't make it to a game because obviously he had other commitments.
Yeah, man's out here grinding, man. But you know, I'll try and make the next one.
it's alright. It's alright. Next one should be on TV. And I already,
Let's hope.
yeah, and I already said next one I'm just gonna get loads of tickets anyway. So I'm just gonna, they'll be at my house. So everyone that wants them, that's not just randomers. Just letting you know.
I message him directly. Just do it.
And I'll just be giving them out to all the man them and all the people that the family that want to come down to watch because it's obviously Ipswich away. So
Yeah, it's
Ipswich ain't too far either.
nah, it's probably from about 2 hours away. Suffolk.
2.5. I think.
Yeah.
2.5.
From Maidstone it's an hour and a half.
Yeah, but we're coming from.
I know, but that's what I'm thinking about where I'm coming from.
Because
So,
even who was our list? It was something Maidstone related that I was watching or listening to, and they were talking about like the distance from Maidstone to Ipswich, and I was like, oh yeah, for you lot, yeah.
but yeah, for everyone else that's got to travel, it's a
extra,
way.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
It's
not too bad.
not too many miles though, isn't it?
No.
Ah, cool.
Well, no, there's never too many miles for this guy.
Yeah,
That's true.
It's not far. It's not that far. And then
That's
get to play
true.
against Freddie.
Yes.
So
That'll be interesting. I mean, if we're all available to go and watch that, etc., that'll be real good.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully they don't do it like some Monday night or some jazz.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that's the slot they're gonna give us.
That's what I'm thinking, or maybe
On Monday
Friday.
Friday night, yeah, because it's that weekend. You know that weekend they do the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and because
obviously if they want to make it a TV fixture, they more or less might give it like a Friday night slot.
yeah,
That's
Or
true.
one. So you know,
If we're free, we're rolling, man.
yeah,
no, definitely.
Just like that.
yeah, good one.
It will.
Came to Tunbridge away, so you know.
Trust me. Yeah, we
To be fair,
did.
that's not far though.
Yeah, no, it's local. I know it's local, but
Yeah, but
yeah.
we've been Cambridge as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did on a
On a Monday or
Was it
Tuesday.
no, it was Monday. Yeah,
Yeah.
because the game was it Monday? Because the game was on Sky.
It's definitely like a weekday game.
No, 100%. It was either Monday or Tuesday. It was Monday because it was that September international break. Then that's
Yeah.
why they had the Monday night game on Sky or whatever. It might be Tuesday. I need to check my TikToks.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we'll be down obviously if we're free. Then 100% get me. And like I said, another stadium for me to tick off. I ain't been Portman Road.
Yeah, neither have I, to be fair. Yeah, neither
What,
have
you
I.
didn't ever play that at youth level?
Nah, we used to always play at the training ground. I've been to Ipswich a million times, but never been to the stadium.
Ah,
Yeah, played against Ipswich loads of times as well, but no,
Now
never
you're
been to
going.
the stadium.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I was thinking because they were in you lot's cat
Yeah,
at the time, innit?
Yeah,
So-
they were in same category
same
as Palace.
category as
Yeah.
you guys. So yeah.
What category is Palace in?
Now,
Now they're Cat 1.
Cat 1 because of the training ground.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
But
facility based.
Palace
isn't it?
should have been Cat 1 back in the day
Yeah.
at certain points. Yeah,
We were, we were category 2 of category 1 fixtures at one point.
because there was a point early, them days, you lot were playing like Man City,
Yeah,
United, Liverpool, and
yeah.
you lot were giving them
Games.
games and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
So that's when we were category 2 of category 1 fixtures. And then when I got to youth team, we were then category 2. And then they obviously built a new training ground at Goals across the road. So they're now definitely category 1.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's just down to facilities and things like that. It's not down to actually the size of club, is it?
No.
Nah, facilities, education, and I think
Obviously,
that's it.
the results matter as well.
You can get
That's
relegated,
the
can't you?
final part of it,
Yeah.
I think. But it's from facilities, and then because that was a big somewhat big argument then. Because obviously, I used to go to a lot of the youth games then. It was just Palace didn't have the whole facility ready for it, but they were playing at a Cat 1 level.
Right. And
and
need
stuff,
category 1
so-
players.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now there's Premier. I only see the Premier League 1, Premier League 2. I don't really understand
Yeah,
how it
and
works.
now I don't follow youth
Yeah.
football as much, but
Yeah, I don't really get how it
I
works.
used to go to quite a lot of those games.
The good
Used to
old
be
days.
regular.
Mate, yeah, by default.
Yeah.
But I've been in the game now. Actually, I've been in the game now. What am I saying?
Yeah, the good old days. Well, that's Saturday 11 o'clock. You could go there and then make 3 o'clock kickoffs.
100%.
Like we used to play our games and then finish and then try and make the first team game.
Yeah. And that was a good thing. Like those days, I know I'd be up early Saturday morning, look forward to going to watch games and then boom. So yeah, no, I might try. Nah, I lied. Who am I kidding?
Yeah, it's long.
Who am I kidding? Unless someone wants to give me a scout badge or a scout employ me, then yeah, obviously I got an eye for the talent and that. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, like we said, cup set, and then we go again.
Yes.
But sticking to football right now, yeah. There's a lack of coverage for Afcon.
Well,
are we surprised?
Well, no, yeah, it's mad. 'Cause obviously, like, this was something I wanted to, like, we all wanted to discuss beforehand, and then we saw that, all right, Sky Sports are gonna show Afcon again because they did it 2 years ago. But the thing Sky done 2 years ago, which I think they're gonna do exactly the same, is just say 4 o'clock kickoff, the show starts, or not even show. The program starts at 3:55 and they're just showing the players coming out, shaking hands. There's no commentary, nothing. This is how it was 2 years ago anyway. So I'm like,
So
I'm there
wild.
thinking, oh yeah, where's the studio guests and all that jazz?
No.
Nothing. Half times come, no analysis, nothing. Just replays of the first half. And I'm like, bruh. And obviously then, like, watching even more because of Sierra Leone fixtures and just working from home as well. And I'm like, bro, whereas back in the day when we were kids, Eurosport, like that's what we grew up on.
That's what will be on
nations,
Eurosport.
on
Straight Eurosport.
And even if you don't care about the analysis as much, the fact that it's there, do you know what I mean?
You're respecting the competition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even us being older now, we'll be more inclined to somewhat listen to it, see what they've got to say, see what they actually know and stuff like that.
True.
Whereas like, bro, it's like, come on, really?
Yeah, not having anyone to commentate on it or any pundits there, bro. They could just put us there.
It's true.
TDO Afcon link up,
It's true.
and we'll do a good job.
It's true. It's not like you can't get anyone from... And you don't actually have to be at the game either.
No,
to
bro,
do the commentary.
We can even do it right here, fam.
Yeah,
they can set up their cameras right here, fam.
And we will commentate on the game.
We'll commentate on all of them. Obviously, we'll discuss the price, but you know,
We're Africans at the end of the day.
trust me.
For real. It's like Sky done like I watched it today on my break because I recorded it from the other night. Sky done, I forgot what it's called, and you probably can find it. But it's about African players in the Premier League. And maybe, I don't know if it's maybe from people's online complaints a couple of weeks ago or whatever, etc. But like the show was actually good. And usually I kind of get bored of watching football, like docuseries to an extent, or football show. I'm like, don't really interest me as much now, innit? But I was like, do you know what? Let me actually watch this and see like what information that I don't know, and just see how much African players have been in the league, in the Premier League and stuff like that, or like the development of African players in the Premier League. And I think when obviously the Premier League was established in '92, it was about 2 or 3 players
Right.
that were in the league then, whereas now there's I believe 50 players across 18 teams and out of the 20.
Boy, Chelsea got at least 22 of them.
Yeah. Whereas there was a peak of like the peak Chelsea years under Mourinho.
Yeah.
There was a peak of I think 61 players across the whole. African players
Those are
across
the ones who identify and nationalize as their African country, innit?
Yeah, facts.
So obviously you got the Englishmen in
Yeah.
disguise and not in disguise, but you know what I mean.
Every French player.
Yeah.
No, honestly though, all the
Yeah.
French players, like if they were to go from their actual country.
So if the ones that actually went to their home nation, then that number will probably double.
Yeah, because if you think about Saka's English, but
Oh, yeah,
obviously,
yeah,
that's what we're talking
Then
about.
if you think about all the ones in it, actually, nah, that's different league anyway. I was
if
thinking
you-
about champ, but
But still, like a lot of the black English players
Yeah.
that are other than Sterling, but obviously Sterling's actually Jamaican.
Jamaican, yeah.
You could go through the team like Tomori, Nigerian. There's a lot of players, even though he's in AC Milan, but you get what I mean.
yeah, you can say Saka.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. There's a lot of them that just don't.
He said Saka. You weren't listening.
Oh,
That was the first.
Yeah.
sorry, man.
But there's a lot of them that just don't
Nketiah.
literally. Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
But there's loads that just don't have obviously their English. They're English by, that's the nationality
Yeah.
for football. But
No,
their parents' nationality obviously is from there.
I do get like certain things to an extent when like if a African heritage player picks England.
Of course, that
obviously
makes
you've
it.
been through the ranks, and
Mhm.
it's kind of seen
It's
as
familiar to you, isn't it?
exactly the pinnacle, especially if you're born and raised, grew up here, everything. Like just for argument's sake, if I was kicking ball, that would probably have been my path. If that or the path that I was trying to achieve, innit?
It's everyone's first option.
Exactly, but now like
You can see why, like, they choose
100%,
England instead.
100%. Like when I was coming up, it was okay. I want to play for England, and then it's okay, cool. I'm not going to play for England, so it's Ghana and Grenada. You get what I mean? It's then you look at where else you can play for.
Yeah.
But it's only, you don't do that. Like people are waiting still till like they hit 24, 25, and they're like, should I not? Because you never know, and then you eventually just make the decision, and it's either good or bad for you.
yeah, it's because obviously like the reason why I might come across passionate about this, but like as I know Sierra Leone's starting to slightly get better and stuff like that, I'll be like, which Sierra Leone is playing? Because we're a smaller country, I'll be like, who's playing where, what leagues, etc. I'll be like to my cousin, have you spoke to him before, blah blah blah, etc. And I think I remember asking you about like Grenadian players across the leagues and stuff like that in Europe, and you were like, oh yeah, I've been in contact with certain man. And I was like, oh right, didn't even know this, innit? You get me? But like, yeah, I just feel more players should start to play for their home nations. It's not easy. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, there's definitely some challenges when it comes to dealing with those nations as well.
And like I said,
Big challenges.
Yeah, completely understand.
No, honestly.
If you feel like,
And it's challenges that you wouldn't even think were challenges before until you had these problems.
but
It's non-football related.
yeah, but that's because of the
Best way to
system
put
as
it.
well.
Yeah.
Best way to put it.
Yeah, because you've grown up through the English system, the English footballing system, or European or whatever, and then you're like, okay, especially if you're in the England ranks from early. Once England snap you up at kid age or whatever like that, that's just gonna be your path more or less. So you understand in terms of those aspects. But yeah, no, like I was saying, whilst I was watching that show, I was just learning quite a lot, and just because they interviewed like a lot of like the ex-players, ex-African players, and even like the managers and other teammates and stuff like that, and just listening to Sam Allardyce speak about Okocha, for instance, and like the reason he was saying, and it's something because it was quite early on into like when we were younger and stuff like that. He was saying like when Okocha first came, the adjustment period, he just couldn't somewhat hack how intense the Prem was, so he'd have to take him off early in a lot of games. But then he said once he clocked it, he said he was basically the African Beckham, innit? Yeah. And I was like, do you know what? I hear it, innit? And yeah, it was actually, I recommend you to watching it if you haven't. But seeing like some statistics, I think from November just gone, it reached to the point where it's now 400 African players have played in the Premier League. And there's from that period on as well, I believe about 30 to 33 countries that have been represented now in the Premier League, and stuff like that. And just like the top 3 countries are like Nigeria, Senegal, and then Ivory Coast in terms of like the players that have played.
Makes sense.
And this just goes back to, in terms of like the coverage, how big the Premier League is marketed in Africa anyway.
100%.
You go back home to any country,
You see the shirts.
that's what they watch.
Yeah.
It's Prem.
Exactly. So, and even hearing like a lot of, some like Adebayo was saying it, Benjani was saying it about the other African countries and like different, like Adebayo was talking about Southern African countries that he knows are watching the Premier League because of him. Do you know what I mean? And
There's
I'm
no
like,
other reason why.
Exactly. So, back to the coverage. Just feel like the somewhat English channels should do a bit more.
Yeah.
Given like, bro, it's a big piece of the Premier League now. Do you know what I mean? And
They
all the
should do.
complaints. Oh, we're losing this player, blah blah blah, etc.
You can watch them. You can watch them, and you're right in saying the coverage. It's not like you see the NBA do the coverage from. They have English people in the studio doing coverage for the NBA games. Like the NFL also have the English guys in the studio doing coverage of the NFL games, but they're in the UK.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
what's the problem with having coverage at half time from a UK or from like the UK pundits or the pundits that want to do it? there's
I'm sure there's some that want to do it.
bro. There's a lot of black pundits. There's a lot of pundits that want to do it.
I believe Ian Wright even spoke about it for the last Afcon.
Yeah, see.
So
Ian
I wouldn't
Wright-
be surprised if he'd do it. Do you know what I mean? More or less, I believe so. Anyway,
Evra's part of that team. Daniel Sturridge is there.
Bro.
Micah Richards is there. Like I'm just saying the black pundits that are on Sky. You get what I mean? But you could find players across the country that have just retired or want to just get involved in that, and they'll happily try and chance their arm because at the end of the day, it's an opportunity for everyone to have a go, and you can't go wrong with the analysis. At the end of the day, you can be wrong, but you can't go wrong with putting someone in a position to do it when you haven't had it before.
exactly.
So I think it makes sense because look, we trust randomers to do it for the Premier League half the time.
And especially in terms of Sky, if they're gonna actually show it,
You may as well have someone.
yeah, just make the effort. Like,
Yeah.
Just have someone there to just guide the conversations.
This is the thing. As we said before, Sky Sports, if you're watching, we will do it.
We're
Yeah.
available, man. We're available.
We will do it.
for
So,
a different lens, that blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know where to hit us up. You
yeah,
get me? So
we will do it. So it's not like it's literally just an opportunity for someone to go in a career path, punditry, help them out.
But yeah. And like we said, just in terms, we'll see when it actually starts with the whole lack of coverage. But just give it a bit more respect. But then again, that then goes back to some of the players. And we spoke about Onana last week. Just gonna briefly bring up, and this time you guys have seen the fact that he's not playing that first game.
Yeah.
Just like, bro, just like,
Did they even give a reason, even though we know the reason?
no, they won't give a reason though. He's putting club over country.
Yeah, you can see that.
That's
So-
disgraceful, man.
This is what we see, what we just spoke about with the English system and the other systems. This is the problem. In the English system, would anyone ever stay at their football club to play a Premier League game if England had the Euro, if the Euros was now?
Mate,
No.
That would even.
it wouldn't even get to that stage.
this-
But I know what you mean.
You get what I mean?
Because every top flight football will be shut
Stops.
down.
I understand it stops, but
Right.
this is the thing. So why are you putting your club over your country in this instance? I understand. Okay, you're falling out of your country, but if you're gonna go and play, go and play.
I mean, like, because apparently he still supposedly doesn't speak with Etu, and Etu's like the somewhat head of the FA or to some capacity, but like you've made amends with the selection process, everything with the manager. You went to last international break, all that jazz. Obviously, he's had a tough start to his United career, but like your club will understand, innit?
You signed up for this.
I'd like to think they would, but apparently I also saw something last week or so that when he signed for United had the impression he's not going because he wasn't. He hadn't made amends, innit? Which I kind of get from the club point of view, just that part. But other than that, once he's gone to international in September, prepare for this.
Yeah.
Literally.
You've got a squad for a reason.
Exactly.
Use it.
His place will still be there when he gets back, because I don't know what our second keeper can do.
And clearly they don't want to play a second keeper because they're really trying to hold on to Onana for as long as possible. So, bro, go and, as I said last week, go and play for your country. I'm not saying it again. Go and play and be with your country. Your club is going to be there when you get back.
You should be there right now.
You should be. Instead, you're playing against Wigan.
Bro.
Rubbish.
Because I think you put in the chat, he's like, what is Onana doing?
Yeah.
No, it was in my Man United chat. One of the boys said, hold on, what's Onana doing? And then I just sent him real.
Man's playing a local thing against Wigan, you know.
Right.
Go Cameroon, man, and join your members, fam.
Exactly.
Mate, so
Be part
evidently,
of something special.
because I think Cameroon's first game, I believe, is Senegal. I might be wrong. It's either their first or second game, but
And that's the one you're gonna miss.
it's like,
One
bro,
of the most important ones.
like, that's the biggest game of your group, I believe. And then,
I don't know. I don't need more words for it.
You might as well not even go.
At this point, if you don't go, if you're not there, just stay with Man United. You've already set out your
stay
president.
home.
You set out your president. You want to miss the first game so you can play against Tottenham.
yeah,
So miss the rest of that. Miss the other three. Hope your team get knocked out in the group because essentially you're not helping them to get through their group stage because you're going to play 2 of the 3 games. And if you lose the first one, you put yourself on the back foot for the next 2.
And do you know what's even worse here? If we lose against Tottenham 3-0,
Then what?
yeah, it won't make it. Like, looking back on it, or looking back on this week in particular, Wigan game's actually fine because the Cameroon game's not till next Monday, innit? So I'm like, all right, you could play Wigan then fly out. Do
Yeah,
you know
but
what I
he's
mean?
not
But
going
He's
to.
not doing that. Like,
Bro, he's at home.
bro,
right
just
now.
looking back, just for argument's sake, if Cameroon reached the final, he is meant to miss. Well, Spurs, that's out of the equation. But the next FA Cup game, Wolves, West Ham, and Aston Villa. So it was 4 games he would have missed.
And the next
Missed them, man.
And the next FA Cup game was going to be against Newport or Eastleigh.
Or Eastleigh.
So if he was going to go
Bro,
and play
even if
against
it was
Newport
Man
or
City,
Eastleigh,
it's like, bro, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It's
no
like-
disrespect to Newport or Eastleigh, but you get what I mean.
yeah.
If he was going to literally wait around and play those games that have been at Afcon, you may as well say, brother, I don't want to play for my country.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
he's a funny man. He's a funny man. Well, in comparison
He's
to
trim, man.
it was.
She is.
I was listening to when I was watching the Spurs Burnley game last Friday. Ian Wright and Karen Carney, they were on the analyst panel, etc. Punditry panel, sorry, and they were talking about Lau Foster, the Burnley striker. He's South African, and he's not gone, but he's only come back to Burnley because
He's been going through something.
yeah,
isn't it?
he basically took time off like mental
Right,
health,
yeah, yeah.
etc. So Karen Carney was like, she understands because from the time she's been on international duty, the things that she struggled with, and she felt like she needed her family with her, and she wouldn't
Yeah.
have family, etc. Then the flip side was like Ian Wright was saying, the fact that he's playing this game now, he should have gone to Afcon.
Yeah, I understand both sides. Yeah,
Yeah, and I was
definitely.
like, usually these halftime things, I'll listen 1 or 2 minutes, and I might change the channel or just go about my business. I was just sat down and I was like, do you know what? Let me listen to the rest of it, because what's her name? The host. Sorry, I forgot her name, but she encouraged the conversation, innit? And just hearing both point of views, and I don't know why. Like maybe it's because we spoke about Anana last week. Initially, I just sided with Ian Wright straight away, innit?
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, yeah, you're playing now. Go play for your country. Afcon, it's not every opportunity.
It's true.
Like, you're their main player, all this jazz. Then, like, the further Karen Carney went into depth, speaking of someone who's been on international duty and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, cool. It's a bit of a sticky situation, isn't it? But it's like,
So what do you think you should have done?
I believe, upon reflection, if he felt he wouldn't be in the right frame of mind for Afcon, don't go.
Right.
Especially because of what he'd been going through, and he just came back to club level.
Is family in South Africa?
That thing, that I don't know.
Oh, okay, cool.
What?
Obviously, if it's a mental thing, then obviously you make your decisions,
Yeah.
and you know how you feel. But if it's just a case of if you can play here, then why can't you play overseas?
Yeah.
Because you're closer to
It's,
home.
it's more of a joyous occasion when you're on international duty as well.
Maybe not for him though. It's
Might-
everyone's
might-
personal
might-
preference.
Yeah, it might be pressure as well.
Yeah.
'Cause they have to go far in it.
That's true.
Because the further you go, it's more money for your country.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's true, bro. It's a difficult one.
It's
It's a
one of them
difficult
catch
one.
22s, isn't it?
Yeah,
You
But
can't please everyone with that decision that you make.
definitely. I'd say for myself, if it was me in the situation, if I can play for my club level, then I can definitely go and play for international. But I'm not the one going for anything mentally.
Exactly.
And I don't know what he's feeling. So
Because I didn't know when he actually came back, but I'm presuming he just came back to Burnley.
yeah,
And probably just started training again
Yes.
properly and stuff
Yes.
like that. FA Cup game, I believe, was his first game. That's her name, Laura Woods. She was the host, and she let them have like she encouraged the discussion, because I
Yeah,
remember her asking like a follow-up question, and I was like, this is actually quite good to like hear both sides and stuff. So in terms of his one, I'll like completely separate that compared to Anana's.
Oh yeah. No, it's not the same thing at all.
That's that
Anana's
team difference, though.
Anana's is a choice. Like he's making this choice.
Oh, my
And
days.
Cameroon have agreed, and Man United have agreed. So everyone's in a mad predicament.
Everyone's in cahoots, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as much as we're cussing Onana, which we can do, we can also cuss Cameroon for agreeing because
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. We can also cuss Man United for even setting out asking the
But
question. They're always
from a
going to.
club perspective, I feel like clubs will always try and test that anyway. Clubs are dickheads like that.
Yeah.
But and they'll try to because even if we were working for a club, we might think, oh, are you sure you want to go? Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
If we see like you're not really that bothered and stuff like that,
Yeah,
I might be a dickhead and test it as well. So
Yeah.
Like the United thing doesn't surprise me. It's more so like we said last week, Cameroon agreeing to it. Like, but don't know if they're just working to make amends slowly but surely, or only God knows.
But I don't know.
God knows. But yeah, and it's weird because we had like a few people. Well, I say weird, but when we posted the clip last week, we've had a few people message us directly about it and stuff like that, and they all kind of have the same view as us. Yeah, in that sense,
they just think the African nations are just not serious.
Yeah.
And that's why it may not. This is why on television it may not be getting the coverage we want, because when things like this happen, you're like, oh God, well, how serious are we going to take the competition if players, the top players in their countries, are making a choice whether they want to go or not? But then you see the other guys that are on the opposite end of the spectrum, like Salah and Mane and Mahrez and all those players, and Kudus to an effect. They're all wanting to be there. Yeah. So, you know, at the end of the day, you can just go with the flow and go with the players that want to be there and forget about the ones that don't want to be there.
Bro, even hearing Mahrez speak about it on like the show that I was watching, just like how passionate he was when Leicester won the Premier League. Him saying like representing Algeria, then he said representing the whole of Africa. It brought, paraphrasing, but basically brought him so much joy in it to represent the continent and stuff like that. And I'm like, bro, this is what you want to hear from the big guns in our continent, or the big guns showing like, bro, like we're here, we're ready to ride out for our country, and we'll come back and do the business for clubs. So you've had him do it, Salah do it, Yaya Toure do it, Mane do it, all like
main players at their football clubs at that given time. They've all gone and done the business at Afcon, and they ain't complained, and their clubs have respected them for it. And it's also put them in a better place in the world rankings in terms of as players. Mahrez, that people are up for awards just because of winning everything, including Afcon.
Brings joy to a whole nation.
Was it the year that Algeria won Afcon? I'm sure Mahrez was up for
high in Ballon d'Or.
I'm sure.
Yeah, Mahrez ain't going to be high in Ballon d'Or for anything else. He won Champions League.
When Senegal won it, Mane wasn't not top 3 in Ballon d'Or or something like that. So top 5 or something.
But look at what it brings.
No, it's true.
So you can't discredit that type of competition.
As much as people might not respect the fact that where it sits in the calendar year, but obviously for majority of the time, weather reasons, because rainy season in Africa will just cool off games in the summer, in our summer, innit? So, but like you said, it's benefited those players, like the top players, for
years and years
awards and stuff like that. And yeah, like you said, you displaying yourself, country, bro. You don't know what club's gonna sign you, because they were saying again keep on referencing the show, but what World Cup was it? It might have been 2010 World Cup, and I believe that's the one Senegal might have done well. They said the amount of Senegalese players that signed for clubs in like Europe and stuff, because I think that's when Liverpool, it might have been 2010 or the World Cup before, when Liverpool signed El Hadjouf and Salif Diao, I believe that's how you say his name, and then the other Senegalese players that were signing for other clubs and stuff like that. It's like, bro, obviously that's World Cup, it's different, but it's the fact that they were showcased on the world stage,
that's all you need, man.
So
an African Cup of Nations, you're showcased on the world stage. I don't care what anyone says. Like, it might not be televised in the UK, but the world's a lot bigger than the United Kingdom. So you're going to be on TV everywhere else. And you're on TV in the UK, it might not have punditry and a lot of coverage, but you're showcased everywhere else.
You got to think about all the Africans that's in other countries worldwide as well. They're tuning in. Like us, we're tuning in. Other people, France, Germany, Sweden, anywhere, they're tuning in.
No, Garo.
Yeah, 100%.
Garo.
And Anana, go and play for your country.
Trust me.
It's too late now. Huh? It's too late now. Like,
it's true.
I mean, I don't like getting up footballers, but if he was to ever come across this and see this, I'll be like, bruv, what are you doing? Like, it is what it is. Everyone has their own personal reason or agenda, etc. So it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But speaking of like more positive, I say positive to an extent. Look at you trying to get your Bills jersey, you nasty piece of work. Nasty piece of work.
Go let them know.
We'll touch up on that later, actually. But yeah, speaking of NFL, it's becoming crunch time. Do you know what I mean?
It is.
Yeah.
It is crunch time.
Yes, it is.
The playoffs start this weekend. I mean, now it's the business end of the season.
Trust me.
But before we start off on playoff talk, obviously the teams are now certified. those are in, those are out. Has there been any shocks for both of you? Because I was like, do you know what? Let me ask you guys when we're recording. Any shock teams that did make the playoffs and shock teams that overachieved and the teams that underachieved? That's how I meant to word it.
Well, the overachievers were clearly the Houston Texans, because
100%.
what they were last year to what they are now. Obviously, D'Amico Ryans and
Coach of the Year for me.
Yep, and CJ Stroud coming in.
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
For me, anyway.
Could have been an MVP.
Sleeper MVP for me.
Yeah, would be an MVP conversation. So definitely, they're the overachievers. I'd say for the one team. I say the underachievers.
I think they're going to be a bit scary as well. You know?
Yes, they'll cause problems in the playoffs because you don't know what you're getting.
When we do our picks after,
yeah,
like that game's really interesting. But yeah,
and say the underachievers just because they should have made the playoffs. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Very disappointing to finish the season. They were 8-3 at one point.
Exactly. You're 8-3. You don't make the playoffs. It's sad to see, to be fair, because at the start of the season I said, okay, they're on the up. Mm-hmm. Got a good head coach. Got a good quarterback.
Very good head coach, actually.
Well, Super Bowl winning head coach.
Yeah.
With the Eagles.
Not too long ago.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'd say definitely the Jacksonville Jaguars underachieved just because of how they ended their season. I know injuries played a part in that, but
it did. But Trevor was really disappointing.
Yeah,
and it was a bit of a surprise considering the way he ended last season.
Yes,
or his second half of last season. So, yeah, and the fact that Calvin Ridley came back this year. Obviously Christian Kirk was basically injured, but Trevor being injured hampered the team massively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah.
And then the player that was terrible. I just gotta say it, Justin Herbert. This.
I won't even say terrible. I'd just say the Chargers. They just feel cursed.
Yeah, no, but he can't. He's not getting away with it anymore.
No, he's
not getting away with it anymore.
100% agree.
Because he's been getting away with it.
I wouldn't say he was terrible, but I 100% agree. He hasn't progressed.
No,
he slightly regressed.
Yeah, we've been letting him off the hook. It's not us being letting him off the hook.
Me never.
The media members out there have been letting him off the hook and getting at certain other players that I don't need to name because you know who they are, who we're talking about.
100%. It's because of you understand why they'll give him some leeway because of the natural talent. And natural talent, he's arguably top 5, maybe top 3 quarterback in the league, innit? And just in terms of talent, but bro is delivering, bruv. Just say it straight. If Lamar was playing the way he was,
they'll be killing him.
They'll be gunning him.
Lamar's never played this badly.
No, he hasn't.
This is the thing. Lamar might have not played well, but his teams have always won.
Yeah. No.
This is the thing. But Justin Herbert, you're playing bad.
He's a winning player.
Exactly.
That's what it is,
he affects winning. Justin Herbert, at this rate, I don't know what you affect.
Yeah.
Because you can't complain about your receiving core. You've got Keenan Allen. You've got people around you.
Mike Williams. He had a good receiving core.
This is the thing. You've got a good running game to an extent.
Yeah.
You have a good offense there.
Yeah, you got us the Eckler there as well.
I think it's with the Chargers, though, their next coach is really important.
That's
them
true.
Especially. They, as much as talent as they've got on offense, where you think, they might not need an offensive-minded coach. I feel like he probably does, isn't it? Whereas now they've been linked to another more defensive-minded coaches, the ones that are somewhat free agents and stuff like that, or the one that I was listening after watching the Michigan game, Washington college football final, Jim Harbaugh, innit?
Yeah.
Is it Jim or John? I've done this last week.
Jim. Yeah.
And obviously he's known as the quarterback whisperer to an extent. So if the Chargers can, it's LA.
Yeah, it is.
New stadium.
It is.
You couldn't buy, but I'm trying to think who was my overachievers. Have you got any overachievers and underachievers?
Underachievers were Chargers, man. Absolute dog.
I just said absolute dog,
Yeah, I want to eliminate the other part of that.
You see me say the absolute dog. That means they were terrible.
No, bro, I expected them to be in the playoffs at least.
No, same.
Yeah, it's true. They actually finished 5-12. That's
5-12.
Terrible.
Obviously, Herbert missed the last 3 or 4 games or whatever, but still.
That means he was he wasn't even 5-12. He was terrible this year, man.
It was horrible, man. Even if he was there for those for those 3 games, and if they won those games, they'll be 8 and 9, still under 500.
Yeah, but they weren't winning those games.
Nah,
No.
He weren't.
excuse.
But yeah.
Minnesota Vikings, I expected a bit more from them, but they've had that like overall they've just been hampered with injuries.
Yeah,
I think once Kirk Cousins got injured, I did not really see
that was it. Yeah,
I think once Justice Jefferson got injured early on, that was them. Even though Kirk Cousins was helping them along the way,
but
once
even
you
when
lose a
I think when
quarterback-
Jefferson got injured, they started to pick up wins. Like, what's the other receiver? Is it Addison?
yes, they got a good receiving.
Kirk Cousins
yeah.
was like finding a good connection.
Yeah.
They got T.J. Hawkinson.
Yes.
He's highest paid tight end. Like for me, I feel like Kirk would have been in the MVP race. I don't know. I feel like I've said this before, haven't I? Because, bro, Kirk played 8 games. I think he'd be, if they doubled his stats from, obviously that's just projecting, but touchdowns, he would have been leading touchdown.
He had 23, didn't he?
Something like that,
yeah. He had 23.
And bearing in mind, he played
five
exactly
turnovers.
half the season.
Yeah.
And Dax end up leading touchdown on 36 or something.
Yeah.
So, and Kirk throws yards.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
the Vikings were picking up heat. Defense was showing up. Like, they would have been in the playoffs for me.
Oh,
So,
100%.
yeah, for sure.
I won't, with them, I'd say more or less overachievers, definitely. Like you said, Houston, I was going to say Rockets as well, Texans, CJ Stroud, mate, from number 2 draft to winning your division. Not even, obviously getting in the playoffs, but winning division, and the coach as well.
Green Bay, did you put them up there? Overachievers?
No, because Jordan Love has been watching Aaron Rodgers for years, so he was the system was there ready for him.
Fair.
I feel like the system was there ready for him.
I'd say in season, from his slump, many people might have predicted to them. I feel like the Chiefs win gave them real belief.
Yeah.
And they end up making the playoffs through that. And just like another team I feel like should deserve a good shout out is the LA Rams.
Yes.
Because it was not looking good for
It wasn't
them.
looking good for them at all.
Not looking good. And Matt Stafford has come back and thrown the hell out of the ball.
Yeah.
Puka Nacua, who should arguably be offensive rookie of the year, bro.
Yeah.
He's almost changed my mind about him.
Who, Matt Stafford? Bro, he's a good player.
Yeah.
I feel like he just needed certain pieces around him as well.
100%.
Obviously, Cooper Kupp, but Puka Nacua, he's special, bruv. Bro,
Yeah.
the receiving record for rookies in
Yeah.
NFL history. They're going to be dangerous.
Yeah, it's not someone you want to match up with.
You
in the
don't
playoffs.
want to face them,
Yeah.
especially now they're getting healthy.
Yeah.
They've got Super Bowl winning players in line. Obviously, the team's a bit higgy-haggy,
Yeah.
but bro, like,
It's playoffs. One off. It's
yeah,
one off.
it's
literally-
nuts. They're the
it's
team
yeah,
you
it's
don't
one
want
of
to
them
face. So, yeah,
Do you know? And the Eagles, the back end of their season was disappointing.
Very disappointing.
because they started 10-1
all their
and
losses
didn't get 12
hurt.
wins.
Yeah.
Started 10-1 and did not get 12 wins.
Finished what 1-6.
Yeah.
Didn't they flipping out.
So, and
1-5. Sorry.
and regardless of your injuries they had and that sort of stuff, the Philadelphia Eagles were not great towards the end of the season.
Cleveland Browns impressed me though.
They were
Flacco.
very impressive.
Yeah.
They're one of the impressive teams.
They're one of the scarier teams.
Because they
going into the
started without Deshaun, innit?
Did he play the first
Because
game?
now it's starting to feel like it was time ago.
I felt like he was so in and out that it was. Yeah, it was just.
can't fully remember.
Yeah,
I feel like he only had like one good game or one good half.
Baltimore.
And
Ravens.
they came back and won, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ravens.
They've had issues at QB, issues at running back.
Who, the Browns?
Yeah.
Mate, their team, they're a dangerous team.
They still
actually.
managed to finish above the Dolphins.
Especially with, but that's, seeding wise. But,
Yeah.
they're going to be dangerous because Joe Flacco's been here and done this.
Yep, many a time as well.
Dolphins have disappointed me though, but they've showed themselves to be a young team.
I'm not surprised by them though.
This is the Dolphins. I think they've shown us this before.
Yeah, even when they were doing super well, I was
Yeah.
I said it earlier on in the season. I was like, they're not going to keep this up.
Yeah.
And they don't beat anyone with a winning record.
Yeah,
Nah.
Tyreek's not throwing to himself, so bro.
That's true.
I
If you-
mean,
if you
he's,
could
he's that quick.
If you can contain him to an extent, you've contained the Dolphins majority of the time. So, yeah, don't let him get over 100 yards and you might win. Literally, feel like that's been the
Yeah.
mantra. And like you said, against good teams. So,
And if Jalen Waddle's out, which he has been the last few weeks, it's not been great viewing. It hasn't been great viewing at all. Watching them hasn't been good. It used to be fun. Like the first start of the season, I was like, oh yeah, this is exciting to watch. Now it's like You guys know what you're doing out there.
Putting up 70 points against the Broncos, all that jazz.
Now it's hard to get past 14.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So
yeah. Obviously, on our internal NFL picks, you guys drew
the flawed system, which is changing next season, 100%.
Yeah, it will change, man.
You guys drew, and I think I finished one loss behind you guys, but don't care. Deji won. The
regular season.
When we change our point system. Anyway, this is an internal thing.
Yeah.
When me and Jacob ain't happy with this, but yeah.
You see what they're doing at the bottom? They're conspiring against me.
Nah, man, that point system is so flawed.
Man's getting clear wins like last week. Then you two are like last week. I found that anyway. But going on to playoffs, like we were talking about. The first game, there's two Saturday games actually. First game is the Browns at the Texans.
Ooh.
This is really tough.
Are we doing our picks as well now?
Yes. So we can do picks on this one.
Browns at the Texans. My goodness gracious me.
This is tough.
Who I want to pick is the Texans.
You do. Wow.
Who I feel like is going to win.
I'm picking Texans, man.
I've been with the Texans all year, so I think I'm going to pick the Texans.
I feel like when I bet against them at key times, I lose.
Yeah. I'm going Texans, but I feel like the Browns have the team to actually cause a lot of damage in the playoffs.
Bearing in mind, the Browns rested players on the weekend.
They did, but they had to. They had the license to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Texans didn't have. That's why I'm going Texans, because they're in the flow and they might bring that momentum.
But
from
the Browns
last
needed
game.
that though.
They also, yes,
because Amari Cooper didn't play the game before or the game before that or something like that, and obviously Joe Flacco is just flinging the ball 400 yards a game or whatever.
It's at the Texans though, isn't it?
Yeah, the Browns don't care.
I know.
The game could be anywhere.
I know.
The game could be in Croydon, bro. Myles Garrett and that defense are coming to show up, bro.
But it's CJ Stroud. I'm not betting against CJ Stroud this season once. I'm staying with them. I'm going Texans.
You?
Texans as well for me.
Oof. I feel like because he's the unknown, I shouldn't bet against him.
They're giant killers.
Like, he's the unknown in the sense that he's just fearless, bro.
Yep.
Bro, first play last game. Did you see? 75-yard touchdown. I said, Lord of mercy, bro.
And it's on a rope, bro. When he throws the ball, I was watching in there, I was like this. Oh my goodness. You like this?
It's so good to watch.
Perfect. In the air, it's like, oh, what a throw.
I'm conflicted. Oh my gosh. I'm sticking with them. Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
Cleveland Browns.
Cool.
They're going to be... They're even my dark horse team to make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it makes sense. It does make sense.
My dark horse team to make it to the Super Bowl. I've gone there. All right.
That makes sense.
Dolphins at Chiefs.
See... You see this one? Yeah.
Here we go.
I give it to the Chiefs though, because like you said before, Dolphins ain't beat no one.
The only good win was Cowboys,
and it wasn't even a good win like that.
But against a good team.
Yeah. This is the problem. Everyone should be back for the Dolphins, right? Hopefully, it's the playoffs. Everyone's going to be back. They're not going to be at full strength.
A lot of their defensive players are out.
They're out for the season. They're done. Defensive players.
Some were potentially coming in for this week, but they're more on the outside. Two or three that were potentially coming back.
But some of them are actually done.
Yeah.
Some of them are done.
Like Nick Chubb, done.
Some of them
I feel like Xavier Howard done as well. They got the mighty Eli Apple though. Get me? Got an interception on Josh Allen.
Yeah.
He's so silly, bruv. He got in the end zone, stay in the end zone. He ran out and they only had like 5 yards.
That's mad.
But anyway,
That's silly. The only do you know what?
Go on, speak your truth.
I want to go for the Dolphins. You know why I want to go for the Dolphins? The only reason I want to go for the Dolphins is because the Chiefs can't stop the run. You know this. The Chiefs can't stop the run. But the weather conditions are going to tell me it's going to be the Chiefs because it's going to be
minus 19
Yeah,
degrees.
It's going to be minus. And I know for sure that them Dolphins can't play in...
From Miami to minus 19, bro.
They can't play.
The only one that can do it is Tyreek.
Because he's done it before. But he can't throw the ball to himself.
Yeah, that.
So...
Minus 19. What's a condition?
I think the Chiefs have the second most sacks in the league this season.
Yeah, they're going to pressure him.
My annoying thing with my Chiefs defense, as great as it's been, we don't get enough takeaways.
Yeah, you don't
We
turn
sack the
them over,
ball,
don't
but we don't
people
get
over.
enough turnovers. That's the only thing. So,
But to beat Miami, you don't need to do that. You just need
that
to
as
get
well.
the ball.
Well, we done it in the game in Germany.
Yeah.
And that effectively,
Won
those
us
7
game.
points won
And
us the game.
that's also what I'm thinking about. Because you two are quite close in terms of team levels, how you're playing this year. Like, that's where I'm... But I'm going to go to the Chiefs. Do you know why? Because it's in that minus ridiculous temperature.
Good
and
man.
the Dolphins are playing like a bunch of
I'm
arse
telling
right
you,
now.
Our Dolphins
If
just show
you
that they're a
lose,
young
though,
team, man.
if we beat the Dolphins, boy oh boy, I told you that AFC matchup. Tell you, we're gonna go to Buffalo, beat the Bills as well. You get me? And then boom, you get me. We'll both wear our tops next week. Get me? Say nothing. But anyway, Bills, Steelers. We all got the Bills.
No, I said the Steelers could cause a problem. Just because the Bills like to do this madness when they like to play around. They play down to competition.
I hate that about us.
See, I would have, if TJ Watt was fit, I would have given you more.
Yeah.
Like, but because they announced yesterday or
he's not
today,
playing.
he's not playing.
We play around too much.
Yeah, you guys do play around too much, but there's no TJ Watt, so I don't think the Steelers have any chance, to be honest. So Buffalo Bills,
Here we go.
get me, and it'll be Bills and the Chiefs in the divisional round.
Deja vu, man.
Get me, but this time in Buffalo, which will be your first. Can't wait.
Oof, that's
Yes,
gonna
the
be
Bills.
a tough one still.
The weather will still be as bad.
Well,
as
we need to get through Steelers first. Before
Yeah,
I say
obviously,
it's a
yeah,
tough
and
one,
we
but
need to
yeah.
get through Miami first, but that's what I'm projecting. Cowboys versus the Packers in Dallas.
I'm gonna go Cowboys. I'm gonna give it to them, but
Yeah, definitely.
If they lose this match,
I don't think they're losing. The thing, the Packers they're scary because they're so young.
yeah, there's
They're
nothing.
just gonna be like,
hungry, young, hungry,
Energy.
nothing to lose.
go for it.
energy.
Yeah.
Like they've got talent, don't get me wrong, but I just don't feel. I feel like the Cowboys right now they're in a zone, man, especially at home. So
Oh yeah, at home they're one of like unstoppable. It seems like.
16 in a row
Yeah.
from this season last year, so or 16, 17, 16. I might be wrong.
Next
Whichever.
team.
Detroit versus the Rams. This game's in Detroit.
I'm going for the Los Angeles Rams.
Same.
I have as well.
Yeah,
We're doing Jared Goff. They're both quarterbacks are playing against a former team,
Yeah.
but this is bad. This will be Matt Stafford's first playoff game in Detroit.
Oh, ever. Yeah,
In
included.
Detroit,
Yeah,
and he was there
included.
for how many years?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, no.
So I think anytime they made the playoffs, they didn't
Yeah.
win their division in it. So
I just think they're hitting form at the right time.
it's just a scary outfit, man. Like, obviously, I won't be Detroit's the highest seeded team, etc. They're at home, their first home playoff game in God knows how long. But
The energy will be
They
there.
just had the better start to the season. Their season have gone the opposites. Detroit had a fast start. They had a slow finish. Then the Rams had a slow start but fast finish.
Yeah.
Well, good
Yeah.
finish.
And I think you want to be going into the playoffs playing well.
Yeah,
than going
definitely.
the wrong way.
Definitely. I wouldn't say Detroit's going the wrong way as much. It's just not how they started the season. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
stable in that. But
Yeah.
like you said, the Rams are just scary in it. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we've all got the Rams. And then the final game, so that's Sunday night game. The Monday night game is the Eagles at the Bucks.
And this is going to be an odd one
This is an interesting one.
because the Eagles have really limped their way into the playoffs.
Literally.
And they're not looking like they're not looking like a team that's going to win anything.
They should have arguably been the 1 seed.
Yeah. Yeah. Easily
Yeah,
the one seed as well.
yeah.
Not even
I'm going for an upset in this one.
Bucks.
Mm.
Do I see Baker Mayfield?
I've got
Causing
the
upset.
Bucks. I think the Eagles season's done.
It feels like it's done,
Yeah.
innit? It feels like
I don't
it's
know
done.
if AJ Brown's fit.
I don't think he is either.
I
But,
feel like
but
even if
not
he
being
was-
fit, you're playing in the playoffs. That's the thing.
Yeah, true.
Half
true,
of them
true.
not being fit more time they're playing in the playoffs. I wouldn't even be surprised if I.
Them man
his
love to
one is
play.
from the injury last game. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? 'Cause I don't. Did Devontae Smith play last game? Because
No.
remember he got injured the game before.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He didn't play last game,
No.
did he? So
Jalen
I
Hurts was out there. But
don't know if he. Yeah, Jalen Hurts hurt his finger during
Yeah.
the game. He's already not 100% healthy.
I don't know for this Eagles team, but they've got from last year. They got the experience.
Yeah,
in the Bucks.
they have.
The Bucks also have the experience though.
They do. because a lot of their players
from Brady's era,
and some of them were even Jameis.
Yeah.
So,
should I
feel like they got the best.
What's her error, man?
I'm gonna go for the Bucks as well.
Yeah.
Bucks clean
for me,
sweep.
the Eagles season's just done.
Yeah.
It's done now.
Yeah.
It's done.
Fair.
All right. So since we've got, let's do NFC because we've all picked NFC games, or actually we'll leave it. I was just gonna say your path until the.
Who I think is gonna get there.
Yeah. In terms of, because obviously, just for argument's sake, we've all picked the Rams. So because the Rams will be Detroit, the Rams would face the 49ers next round.
Then the 49ers. I think the 49ers will beat the Rams, but it'll be a good game though.
That's good. But that's the most dangerous game for the 49ers.
Yeah. 100%.
Because as much as Kyle Shanahan's got a great record against McVay, the one win McVay's got against him was the NFC Championship game.
When it counted.
Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, we'll do all that jazz next week when the divisional games kick in, but it's gonna be interesting. There's gonna be one or two upsets this weekend.
100%. Everyone going into
maybe
it.
This
is the most competitive I feel like it's been in terms of
close.
Yeah. Not knowing who's gonna really win the game.
Yeah,
it's a lot better like this.
It's quite tough. Hopefully, God willing, the Chiefs do not mess up this weekend and be one of those teams.
Don't worry, God let them.
What, you don't want to face us at home? You don't want to get revenge?
They might not get through.
Listen,
no, he's scared of us. Go on, say it.
I'm not.
You are. You are.
Not the Chiefs.
Because I want the Bills. I don't want the Steelers to cause an upset. I want the Bills.
Whoever's in our way, I want us to run over them.
I want the Bills.
Run through them.
Give me the Bills. Get me. For that punt return the other day, the Bills might not have won that game.
Yeah.
But you can say that about every other match though.
No, what?
Without a field goal, a team might have won the game. Without a touchdown, they might not have won
but
but the Bills have been messing around.
You know, in top games, punt returns don't really make a big difference.
No.
They don't really. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Obviously, and for a touchdown, for instance, it only happens in rare. It happens in more of the games that are the gaps are a bit wider between the teams, etc. And all that jazz.
In the meaty games.
To an extent, yeah.
Because it's how it is. There's teams that are better than other teams. You know what I mean?
It's just, did the Ravens have one against the Dolphins last week?
The Ravens had a punt return, funny enough, against
the Rams that won the game. Yeah,
in overtime. Yeah.
But I feel like
it's one of them unexpected plays.
Yeah.
It's not meant to happen.
Or if it does happen,
that.
it'll be a big play, but not a touchdown. So just like Kadarius Toney in the Super Bowl last year.
It gets you to a place where you can win the game.
Exactly. But once that happened, I think I tweeted the game or even when Buffalo was down, I was like, the Bills are winning this game. I just know what the Dolphins are like in those kind of situations against the Bills as well.
Yeah.
As long as we don't play down to our competition, then we should win.
Mate.
So, I'm being positive, man.
Yeah, no, the Bills are scary. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah.
But scary both ways, though. We can just do some stupid things and we're behind by like 12 or something. Or we can just do some scary things and we're just up by 12. Like,
it's true.
We're a mad team, man.
But even being behind by 12, I think all the games the Bills have lost this season has been less than 3 or 4 points. I might be wrong. It's definitely one score games. They've been in every game that they've lost. It's like the Ravens as well. They don't lose by big margins.
Yeah. Tight games.
It causes self-inflicted pain. Because Josh Allen's numbers were crazy, but then 3 big turnovers were on him as well. So like the Dolphins didn't really punish.
It's what we get for hero ball, man.
Yeah.
But no, it's a scary team. But I want them in the divisional round in Buffalo. Let's go. But I feel like we can wrap it up or
song of the week.
Song of the week before wrap up.
Song of the week before we wrap up.
I know you got one for us.
I was testing. Song
of the week.
You don't go on.
My one on Gig Stubbs, Pain is the Essence.
Raw.
Classic. The South London anthem. The real South London anthem.
Don't know if you're allowed to have that though. I feel like we mentioned it already.
So if I'm listening to this week,
again,
what?
I feel like you have to come with something different.
Man's listening to this. Oh, Gigs, Kai's, rat-tat-tat.
I'm trying to, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get you.
Something different, but just like...
We mentioned it when we were talking about a song you can sing like if you're
yeah. My song of the week is Cleo Soul, and it's There Will Be No Crying. If you don't know Cleo Soul, she's a UK artist, special singer. So tune in, that music there, soulful. Take you to another place.
How are you spelling Cleo? CLEO.
CLEO, and then Soul is SOL. There's a space, so Cleo.
The man said CEO, you know.
CLEO.
Yeah, I said CLEO.
Yeah.
It's when Jacob repeated it, I thought you said CEO.
Oh, no.
Cleo Soul, special artist.
What's the song called?
It's called Jesus. My name, brain. There Will Be No Crying. It's off her latest album, Gold.
Say no more.
But just listen to her whole tape, man. Special artist.
Just add the whole thing, fam.
Fair.
Go on, Joe.
Mine is obviously you lot know the song and the artist. 'Cause I was humming it beforehand.
Yeah.
Well, but not artist wise. Like when I said remixes, Sunday Service Choir,
Oh,
their version of Rain.
Right.
But you were saying the original was
SWV.
SWV. It was just because I'd been listening to.
Yeah.
What day was it? Where was I going? Was it to your game? It was actually on the way to your game. I was listening to gospel. I was just listening to gospel. So yeah, honestly, literally, because I got trained there, and I actually enjoyed the journey in it. I was like, got near enough an hour train from London Bridge, and just like just listening to some gospel and stuff like that from when I left my house. And
that's a good album.
Sunday Service Choir,
the one with Kanye
Rain.
West one.
Yeah.
That's a good album. That's a whole good album.
I've not actually listened to the whole album. It's just on my sister's gospel playlist, and I was like, I kept on repeating that song even though I know it. But yeah, so
bangers are bangers, man.
Yep,
for sure. Get me. But now we can officially wrap up. Get me. And when we post our song of the week, reels, clips, etc., we want you guys to put yours in the comments as well, because even when playlist. Exactly, one, add them to the playlist that will eventually get done, and two, as you lot can tell, when half the time Jacob says a song, I do not know it. So oral artists,
very true.
Like I always say, these two are more well versed in the music world than I am. But yeah, we want to see what you guys have to say in terms of the music you're listening to. So even if it's not necessarily your song of the week as per, just put your song in, and then, like Jacob said, add it to the playlist, and I'll actually give it a listen to, because I may not know it.
Yep.
Or I just might want to know your mood, all of us. So, yeah, but now we can officially wrap up.
Yep.
Cool. Joe. Nah, I lied. As Deji likes to say.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Gotcha. And Jacob.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, you know how we do. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we're happy to see people commenting more actually on certain stuff as well.
Trust me, man. Big up our people, man.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Reels, TikToks, Instagrams, YouTube Shorts, all the jazz, audio, if it's that you're listening to on Spotify or any of the streaming sites, we really appreciate it, and just continue supporting, and we shall continue delivering. And yeah, now I can officially sign out. Joe, signing out.
Dej, signing out.
Jacob, signing out.
Peace.
Thank you for listening.